This is Alan Farley from FX Empire. Let's take a look at this week's top stocks, ETFs, and crypto. First up is Costco. Costco reports earnings this week. Costco is a very strong performer, much stronger than Target and Walmart right now. As you can see, it's holding above the 50-week moving average. This is pretty constructive price action right here, sort of rounding the band with support right around the 500 level. So this is a really outstanding performer, except I don't know if it's quite time for it to break out to new highs considering the market backdrop. We do have a positive weekly cycle here, but if you take a look at the monthly cycle, we're still kind of dragging. You see that right there? We're just going into a sell cycle. This is more indicative of a trading range or lower prices, so I think you have to lower your expectations ahead of Costco's report. Moving on, let's take a look at the Gold Trust. Now, the Gold Trust had a good and bad week last week. As you can see here, gold broke out of this trend line. This is on a weekly. Gold broke out of this down trend line about 3 weeks ago at the end of January, start of February. Came up within, how much is this? About 10 or 12 points of this 2020 high. Now, this is a shooting star reversal. We're going to get a back test here, probably all the way down around the 171 level of this trend line, and that could be a good entry point for gold, because if you take a look at the monthly still looks fantastic. Right here we have the makings of a cup and handle pattern going on for about a decade, and if it can clear right here, right around the 200 and 2000 level, I think we're going to get a very rapid advance towards the 3000 on gold. Taking a look next at RTX, which is Raytheon Technologies. Raytheon Technologies is a U.S. defense company. Let's take a look a little bit closer here. Take a look at price action going back through the pandemic. As you can see, it got up right about to the mid-90s in February 2020. Came back up in October 2021. And then it posted this real teeny little cup and handle right here, which is something you actually see quite often, breaking out in February, pulling back and testing new support, and then taking off during the Ukraine invasion. If you take a look also at ITA, which is the defense and aerospace ETF, it looks very close to a breakout as well, and I think the entire sector is going to go crazy, especially with the threats that we're seeing in Eastern Europe. Next up is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is holding its ground, but that's about it. Here it's testing this really support is right around 32,000 here, but it's really testing all this big congestion right here from 2021, which went down to what? It crisscrossed about 30,000 a few times. So it's trying to post a higher low. It tried to post a higher low here, failed at the 50-day moving average, came back down, and then it posted another higher low right here. So this is constructive. However, Bitcoin is still kind of mired in. We have this buy cycle here that's trying to work its way up to this stronger resistance, which is at the 50-week moving average near 44,000. And we also have this very active sell cycle. It's trying to stretch into the oversold level. So I think the prognosis for Bitcoin, and if you're holding it, is you want to see it hold above the 30,000 level. You don't really want it to break this 33,000 and test that, because then we will have sort of the makings of potential head and shoulders pattern. Finally, Salesforce, which is a Dow component, reports earnings this week, and Salesforce really has not had a real good time. This is when Salesforce joined the Dow Industrial Average. You can see it's actually down 17% from that point in, about a year and a half. And even worse yet for the keepers of the Dow is Salesforce replaced Pfizer just before Pfizer came out with its COVID-19 drug and took off like a rocket. So bad news all around for the Dow industrial makers. However, Salesforce, which reports earnings this week, reversed right here. This is a weekly candle at the 200-week moving average. Now, this is a big deal. It still hasn't quite come back up to this broken support. You can see this broken support right here around 210. I think if it does, we could get a rally up to about the 240 level. But just like some of the others you've seen, if you take a look back at the monthly cycle, you can see we still have a very active monthly cycle. We've just taken out a prior low, so there's still a very strong technical headwinds with Salesforce looking ahead.